This is Sammy Unsolicited, and these are conversations that I'd be having anyways, but this time I hit record. Hi, Rita.
Hi, Sammy.
So today I'm sitting down with Rita Parsamyan Mahood, the founder of Lazer Lounge in Studio City. Rita blends her medical background as a nurse practitioner with an unusual high standard for how things are built. You see it in her work, her taste, and the space she designed from the ground up. What makes her interesting to me isn't just the success or how intentional every decision behind it is. It's the entire package. I'm really glad you're here, Rita. Welcome. Rita, we've been friends for a while, and I thought since I have this chance to interview you, I'm going to ask you every question I ever wanted to ask you
Great.
that I feel like would get not just like me, but the world to get to know the real Rita. So let's do this. So, Rita, people see the finished version of you and the success. What do you wish they understood more about the process?
Before I get into the process, that finished version, I don't think really exists. There's really not such a thing as a finished version, at least in my head. The second you feel like this is it, like I've got it, I think it doesn't do you any good. So I'm always at a point where I'm learning, I'm evolving, I'm dealing with challenges and it's teaching me lessons, and so there I'm not even near, and I don't think I'll ever be near a finished version, but the process is fun, it's challenging, it's exciting, it could be sad, it could be lonely. It's a process.
I was curious. So, how many years has it been with running Lazer Lounge?
So this year will be our 9th year.
The obvious question is what first pulled you towards aesthetics? So, you're a nurse practitioner. This is still a pathway to take. What led you down this path? What kind of pulled you here?
Honestly, I've always had a really good artistic side to me. I've always loved art. I loved doing like plaster art. And so even besides just the art, like I have a really good sense of like I can see something and see the finished version before anyone could see that finished version. And as long as you trust me, that finished version is always really beautiful. So that being said, I also love being a nurse. And throughout my journey of being a nurse, different roles, different things, I did realize that I'm actually really good with the needle. Like I can start IVs with my eyes closed, no joke. Like it was insane, especially being in the ER where you're getting a lot of clients who we call them hard stick, like they just don't have great veins. I learned to start IVs everywhere.
Wait, that was hard stick?
We call them hard stick, yeah.
Okay. I learned something new.
And you had to start an IV. You had to find a vein. This was all such a surprise to me. It all happened so quickly. Picture this.
Okay.
I just had Alec. I'm on maternity leave from my county position, which was always my dream, my goal to land this very stable job being in the ER. And I'm there, but I have Alec. We're hoping to have more kids, and I'm on maternity leave. And I'm like, wow, like, how am I going to go back and work 12-hour shifts, nights, and raise a family and be there for my kids? It was getting really hard to picture what that life would look like for me. And I wanted to be there, like raising the kids. I didn't want my mom, a babysitter. So the more I thought about that, going back to work was getting like it just wasn't like something I could like really picture. And Lazer Lounge was just like a thought. Like it was just like something that you and I just sat there and be like, like, have you ever like thought of this? Like I shared it with a friend and they were like, oh, wait, like actually I know someone who's selling their medical spa and they've just opened, they're not interested in keeping it. And then I was like, okay, well, I want to meet with them. The next day, called them. Hey, I heard you're selling your med spa. Can I come meet with you? Oh, yeah. Can you come today? Sure. I pick up Alec, put him in a stroller. Chris is working, by the way, and he has no idea what's happening. I pick up Alec and I go meet up with these people, and we come to an agreement. They just weren't interested in keeping. It had like been less than a year. And I was like, that's great. I love this. And the next day, I was signing paperwork.
Wow.
Chris comes home the following day, and I literally haven't really said anything because I'm scared. I'm like, what is he gonna say? And the next day when Chris came home and I told him how much money we spent and we just bought a business, and that as of right now, I haven't quit my job, but most likely I will have to. Yeah, I'll let you fill in the rest of that story.
Hey,
But look
yeah,
where we're
like
at now. I mean,
I think it's destiny. I think you
it
took a leap of
it
faith, which is
is.
crazy.
It is. It's almost like speaking to the right people at the right time, and the universe just gave me the sign, and I had to take up on that.
The universe gave you the sign.
Yeah.
I love that. That is so confirming, in my opinion.
Yeah, it is.
I love that. Okay. Actually, a great origin story, I must admit. The good with needles part really got me
The
tickled.
heartstick?
Well, no, I think to know that you're actually good at something, like, I think you started with a skill that you had to have for the current role that you were in. Considering the different use cases you were going through, I think that's extreme, but you still knew that this skill was good and you knew what you were doing. And so to take it into a direction that was aesthetics also, I think there's a lot of alignment for you, which I kind of love. So yeah, so that's why I kind of said it was fate. It feels like fate. It feels like the correct direction, right?
Yeah.
Right place,
You're
right
like on the
time.
right path. You just feel it in your core. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you jump into Lazer Lounge. Now you've made a commitment. You've pulled the trigger. You've shared it with your husband, and now you're in the moment. So what happened when you realized that, like, being really good at something wasn't just the entire task, but now you also had to be a business owner?
Yeah, I think at first one thing I knew was I have amazing work ethics, right? And I'm like, okay, no matter what, I'm gonna make it work.
Mm-hmm.
In my mind, what was gonna work was putting out really good before and afters, because that's how you're gonna showcase your work, right? So imagine my first like couple of years trying to gain as many clients as I can, try to produce as many before and afters, try to be as active on social media. But when I say active, I mean like just my before and afters. Then I realized, wait a second, people aren't really like connecting to these before and afters like how I imagine, because I look at them and I'm very proud of my work, but it's not really translating. And then I realized, what is something that my clients really value? Yes, they value that I provide them really good service and I'm a great injector. But what else? I realized that they like value the type of person that I am. And I'm like, okay, well, the type of person that I am is only shown to the clients who actually come to see me. How about the rest of the clients that I haven't yet gained? They have no idea who I am. They just go on my page and they just see a bunch of before and afters, and then that's it. There's no connection. At that point, I realized I had not built a brand. I had built some sort of a business, but there was no brand. There was no like, oh, Lazer Lounge. Oh, Rita, yes. Like there was none of that. And then I realized, okay, wait, as much as I'm an anxious person when cameras are around, I need to break out of my shell and I need to create a brand, and just providing good before and afters isn't enough because people need to know who's behind the brand.
It's interesting you bring up the brand because a number of my friends have been introduced to you. We've been friends for years. And you know what? Immediately after leaving a consultation with you, what comes up organically every single time is Rita's signature lip. Have you heard this before? Like, I think if anything, it's like, and nobody does lips like you do. Every one of my friends that's ever been injected by you, I think, can never go anywhere else now. So what is it about Rita's signature lip that you think kind of helped shape that brand for you? Do you agree? Do you identify as this part, as it being part of your brand?
Yeah, it definitely is. And I have more plans to kind of make it other treatments more on brand. But it's not just, I call it Rita Signature Lip, but it's not one lip for everyone. I look at everyone and I treat everyone so differently, where I can't really say, like, well, this works for me because, like, every time I do this, it works great. Like, there's no such a thing. Everyone's face is so different. And so I don't inject the same way with every client. I actually change up how I inject almost with every single client. And I guess that's my signature
I love
to
that.
answer your question.
No, that's great actually, because it's a
Yeah.
lot more like personal.
Yeah.
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 It's funny because knowing somebody's face and being able to like take a look at it and know what you would do is, I think, a true art that honestly precedes anything you can learn in school.
Yeah.
This has to be something that you instinctively know,
Yeah.
which kind of transitions us a little bit to this incredible space that we're here today. Because a brand is not just like what you say and how you say it, what you do and how you do it, but also how you feel, the environment you're in,
Of course.
how that speaks to you. Tell me a little bit about this multisensory experience that you created.
Yeah, honestly, this space has like this design probably lived rent free in my head. I want to say like 4 years.
Really?
So once I found this spot, I knew every little detail. Like the next day, I already knew what the space was gonna look like because I was just looking for the space that my interior design mood board in my mind was gonna fit into. But yeah, as like I want it to be very minimal, but not so minimal. I want it to feel very like peaceful, but like very edgy. Or like, does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah.
Actually, the environment is original, it's calm, it's distinct, and it's
Mhm.
authentic. And it
Yeah,
is Rita through and through.
it is.
I've been around you long enough to know what your aesthetic is like and what you appreciate, but the creation and bringing it all together, I must say, is truly
Thank
your
you.
signature is all over this.
No, thank
And
you.
I absolutely
Yeah.
love it.
I loved like picking out little pieces. Like I was just having the best time of my life, like truly.
I remember asking you for a tour. We go into your injection room and you point out this incredible art piece. And there was like a moment of silence and you were kind of smiling. And I'm like, and you knew, you could tell I absolutely loved it. And then you told me that you were the one that actually made it. And I was like, how did you make this? I didn't even know you could make this. I thought it's like, $30,000 art. But that being said, you did do a lot of your own personal touches here, and that's really unique too.
Yeah, I really wanted to. Actually, that piece in the injection room, do you know what's underneath the plaster?
No, what is it?
No, I
No,
didn't tell you this.
no.
So, do you remember our old location, our lobby, right above the white couches we had was this black and white naked woman canvas?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what that is.
No
I
way.
swear.
Upcycling. All right.
Yeah, I was
What?
like, you know what? I was like, I actually wanted to take a piece from that location because that location, although wasn't like how I wanted it,
Yeah.
but it's such a part of Lazer Lounge's story. And I wanted to take something from there, although nothing interior wise I could have reused.
Fair enough.
So, I reused the canvas. Yeah.
I think that's genius, and it literally carries its little heartbeat
Yeah.
in here.
Yeah.
Because the origin of it is also really charming and really beautiful. I love the original space. This is a complete different vibe,
Yeah, complete.
obviously, and a complete upgrade. But I think this is you through and through. This is you in a multi-sensory way,
Mhm.
and the environment really speaks volumes about this, which I love.
I'm glad you see it like that.
Thank you. You made it super easy to enjoy. I think nobody can come in here and not immediately feel the energy. I think you created an energy and a space, and that's
Right.
very evident. So, congratulations on that. I love
Thanks.
that. Okay. So, you had to make some big decisions in your life. You had to take some like shot calls, things that are serious, like the one you explained after, 3 days of thinking through something, an opportunity. So, is there a single big early decision that was just like very scary that you took that you're like, thank God I did this. This was the
Mhm.
right decision? Or is it like a series of decisions that led you to this path? What would you say is more?
No, there were a few really big decisions. One, of course, as you mentioned, like I had a very stable job. Like it was a job where I could retire freely.
Mhm.
I can, move up the ladder and have an amazing career with the county. And I had to let go of that.
Yeah.
And I mean, I did do the county and here, like at Lazer Lounge for some period. I would work nights and then come and inject in the mornings and then literally like pump in between and breastfeed at home and then somehow sleep like 3 hours and then go back for another night shift. I did that until I couldn't, but I had to let go of that and that was really hard because it's like a safety net. Like that like tomorrow you have a job, that your salary is going to be there. you don't really have to worry about retirement. The county's taking care of you. And so that was like a really scary decision to make. And especially having a partner who's not a risk taker.
Yeah.
And he was always very supportive because he believes in me. Then as things kind of like rolled and you're like, okay, all right, this is like working. I feel like another really big and very scary decision I had to make was when I decided Lazer Lounge was meant for me to run solo, because initially I did have a business partner, and it wasn't so much that it was like scary. Like, the best way to explain it is you're in a relationship where you're almost comfortable because you've been doing this for so many years, but comfort doesn't allow you to grow out of your shell. And every time I kept thinking of Lazer Lounge, I kept thinking of me growing Lazer Lounge, and I didn't really imagine how that would look with another person. And I felt like I was comfortable, but I needed to get out of that comfort and run solo. And I feel like that really just made me into this person, truly. Like, I grew over the last 2 years. I thought I was confident. I became even more confident. I thought I didn't need reassurance. I definitely don't need much reassurance now, for sure. Yeah,
That's
even
incredible.
more so.
I must say that's really incredible because that's a second leap of faith. And you were
Mhm.
discussing like something that almost felt like cozy and homey and familiar and comfortable. Right.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, have the ideology of if it's not broke, don't fix it. And you're like,
Mhm.
no, but this Laser Lounge had to be a solo project. And
Yeah, I felt like Lazer Lounge was like literally like reborn, like into like a whole new entity.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the new location solidified that.
Yeah. I that's why I really needed this and I really wanted this.
I'm I'm sure with this much attention to detail and this much clarity, you have some non-negotiables. What are some non-negotiables that you learned through lessons, like that you think that, because of this experience, I now know how to proceed forward and it's something I'm not willing to negotiate on?
Non-negotiables with like running the business.
Yeah, I think whatever, because
I
this is a tight ship. And so
It
there's a
is.
lot of things that could go in many different directions.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that you feel adamant, like, I will never cut corners on
Yeah, I
this?
I will never cut corners on being completely raw and honest with my clients.
I love that.
I sit there and I do my consults and I give them guidance that I wish if I was them, I would be the one receiving that guidance. And so I think of it as a little sister or big sister advice, and I'm only there to educate. I'm not a salesperson. I don't do sales. I'm here as a provider, as a professional, someone who has expertise in this topic. And so that's my job. All I can do is educate you. All I can do is assess your face and then tell you this is what I would do.
It,
So my honesty with my clients has really built this very trustworthy group of people who then have referred their friends, and it really like grew my business. And that is a non-negotiable. I don't really care too much about the sales of that day. It may not be so great, but I know I'm building such a stable, like almost like longevity with my clients because I am honest with them.
Trust is everything.
Yeah.
And trust is earned, not
Yes.
demanded.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Especially when it's something that's as personal as
Yeah.
how you look, because how you look is a lot about sometimes how you end up feeling,
Yeah. Of
and
course.
trust is earned. I love that. Thank you for kind of speaking about it in that way. Because a lot of non-negotiables could be things like, more of a shallow approach to it would be like, I only do, 3 days a week, and now I have to have like I must
Oh,
have
Sammy,
5-day
if
weekends.
only you knew my schedule.
I know how determined and how
Mm-hmm.
dedicated you are, so that wouldn't have never been the case. But obviously, running a glamorous business in the world of beauty has an unglamorous side. What would you say is a common misconception about that? Like,
It's the fact that there's no time off, at least for me. Only time off I feel like I get is when I'm like away, like I'm traveling and we're on a time difference. I feel like at that point I can be like, okay, well, there's nothing I can do. you know? Other than that, I wake up, I go to bed thinking about work. Literally, no exaggeration. I lay down in bed and I think about work.
I love that your answer basically was, I need to be completely removed from the premise
Yes,
and away from the state in a
with a
different time zone
yes.
on a plane.
That is the only time I feel like I can actually like shut my brain off.
I can relate to that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Even at that, I might be like working online. I might be like making like our content feed. I think I have a problem.
I think it's just a part of
Like when
a
I
very successful
switch on,
business.
yeah, like when I switch on to like business mode, which I guess I've been in 9 years now, I'm in business mode. I might not eat or drink, like, but I am like in this mode and I love it. But, there are times where it's not very glamorous because I'm drained, I am exhausted. I need to like fuel to then give more. And when I'm tired, whatever I'm doing, I'm not doing my 100% because I'm tired. So once I realize that, I'm like, okay, I need to like take a second.
This answer is going to help so many people. There's going to be a lot of ambitious people that are going to look to you for inspiration and say, oh, when I grow up, I want to do exactly what, Rita's doing. And I think you sharing that discipline, that unglamorous side, that reality is important because there is something worth it at the end. It is absolutely, worth the effort, worth the time, worth the dedication. But I guess it kind of brings us to our next segue because, this is your baby, but you're, as a business, it's your baby, but you're also a mom and a wife. And, that's another full-time commitment. How has it been kind of living your dream in a professional way, also overlap with making sure you're also living your dream in a more personal way?
Being a mom has made me be a lot more intentional about every little thing that I do. Every hour that I spend, I'm very intentional about that time because at the end of the day, I love business and I love what I do, but nothing can get in between me and prioritizing my kids. So when I'm not with them and I'm somewhere else, I have to be very intentional. It needs to be worth my while to be doing something else because all I want to do is be with them. So when I'm here, I'm here. I'm working. I'm focused. When I am with a friend and I take that 2 hours to be with a friend, I'm very intentional on who that friend is. I don't allow myself where I just can't, not even that I don't. I can't allow myself to spare time because I'd rather be with my kids, like spare my time with something that isn't really
I think that's
like,
perfectly said, honestly. The intentionality, I
yeah.
think that's how you started your answer. And I'm like, yes, you have to be intentional. And honestly, I think a lot of our time can be wasted. And regardless of what your cares are, what your passions are, you know, for me as well, family is number one. And I have to be very intentional with the time I
Yeah.
spend with my family too. So I can absolutely relate to that. So, speaking of being a pretty cool mom, because I think you're a pretty cool mom, I've seen some of the fun activities you end up doing with your kids. You have two boys,
Mm.
and I'm sure you're coming across some, really fun, interesting lingo these days.
Yes.
I'm assuming, are they both Gen Z, or is one is Gen Z and one is Gen Alpha? I'm not.
I don't even know tell me the years.
Okay. So I'm terrible at this.
Okay, so one's 2016, the other one's 2018. So I don't know.
I think
Probably alpha.
I mean, listen, we've all seen it. I have at least the whole 6-7 thing. Can you tell
Oh
me
my God.
when did this phenomenon start in your
Please.
household and where did it come from?
It happened with my little one.
Okay.
It's crazy because my oldest one is, I'm sure he hears it, but he's not really into things like that. So when my little one was saying it, very quickly, I was saying, I don't want to hear it stop. So finally, when they were bickering, that's when I stepped in. I'm like, what is happening? And then Aiden's like 6, 7. And I'm like, what? It took me a while. I still couldn't understand what he was saying. I literally had to ask ChatGPT to explain to me, like, what is this 6, 7 thing?
What was the answer?
I can't even really tell
I
you. It was like, I guess, like, I don't know, babe. So, is that what that is?
I
Or
couldn't
like,
even
give
tell
or
you.
take? Like, truly, I don't know. I still don't get it. But it's so bad that, like, I had this 6, 7 in my head. And funny story. I was shooting content one day, and part of the content was the person who I was injecting. I was doing her lips. She was supposed to ask me, Rita, so how much do I owe you? The price at the time for lip fillers was $670.
No.
And I said 6-7. I was gonna say 670. I said 6-7, and I'm just dying. And then she's dying because she knows. And the guy who's shooting content is dead. And I was like, I hope you got this on camera because this is real.
It looks so good. How much do I owe you?
It's 670 for 6-7.
6-7! That's all I could think about right now. That's what just came to my brain is rotting, you guys. It is rotting. Tell me why that just came to my mind right now. We're changing our prices. It's not 670. It's 6-7 per month.
This is real. Like, this is crazy. How we heard it so much where that's the first thing that comes to my mind when I say 670.
Yeah, so it's floating up generations. 'Cause
Yes.
What would have just landed within a specific age group
Yeah,
has now gotten
no.
to the 30-year-old somehow. So whatever you're doing, it's working, but please stop.
Yeah, please stop.
Immediately. Yeah, I beg you. Shut it down. This one, the thing is with 6-7, Rita, is like there's no actual final clear
Like
meaning. I
meaning?
think is what
Okay.
we're getting to, and I think you
Okay.
guys said that too.
Yeah.
But I feel like so I want to kind of take it into a fun direction. So you're gonna be coming across quite a bit of these moments with the kids, and especially now that they're in school and they're mingling with other kids their age. So I thought it would be funny to ask you a few Gen Z, Gen Alpha words,
Okay.
and play a game I like to call Lingo Bingo.
Okay.
And we're gonna try to keep score. We're gonna see what your final score is. So I have a total of 10 words for you.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
And what we're gonna do is I'm gonna ask you the word, and I want you to try to explain it to the best of your ability. And once you get to the point of satisfaction, I'll say either correct or incorrect. Okay.
Okay.
I feel like you'll do well.
Okay.
Do you want to take a deep breath in? It's okay.
Let's do it.
This is the fun part. Okay. All right. So word number 1, Delulu.
Delulu is like delusional.
Correct. Okay.
Okay.
Girl 2. Oh, girl 2. Word 2, girl math.
How do you explain girl math? It's like it just makes sense to like a girl, but like it may not make sense to like somebody else.
So-
like when you're like counting something and you want it to like make sense.
You got it.
Yeah.
So justifying a purchase by reframing the cost so
Yeah.
it feels free or earned.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yes.
There's an authority to these. I'm pretty sure the Oxford Dictionary is including these as we speak. Word number 3. So far 2 for 2. Not
Okay,
bad.
good.
Word number 3. It's giving.
It's giving is like it's spot on. Like my outfit today is giving.
Yeah, your outfit is giving.
Yeah.
We're living for it too. Yeah,
Yes.
that's correct.
Yeah,
Check.
great.
3 out of 3. Okay. They'll get harder as we go.
Okay.
Yeah. I think
I'm
you're like,
being
okay. So phrase number 4 is soft launch.
Yeah, soft launch. That's like when you're not giving like all the details, but you're just giving little like sneak peek. Yeah.
Usually, yeah. So
Okay.
introducing something subtly without a formal announcement,
God, I'm so
often
smart.
used for relationships, rebrands, or life changes. So absolutely correct.
Perfect.
4 for 4.
4 out of 4.
Are you learning this from your kids, or is this gut instinct? Like,
So far, no, this is just me.
okay, cool. All right. There's longevity to these words. Okay, so word number 5, mid.
Like put it in a sentence.
My experience at restaurant X is mid.
Oh, like whatever. It's average.
Yeah, mediocre. Apparently,
Mediocre, sure.
it's just too much to say mediocre for that generation.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 6. You got 5 so far. Number 6. NPC. It's an acronym.
NPC?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What is that? Like a football team?
So NPC stands for non-playable character.
Wait, say it again. Non?
NPC is non-playable character. Okay, well,
Okay.
you know, it's good. So NPC means non-playable character, someone who lacks originality or awareness. This comes from the gaming world. So like think of like little floaty people that walk around a game that aren't really, you know, you
Okay.
can't play them.
Yeah.
Right?
So
those
they're
are
like the sheeps in Minecraft.
yeah, and so if
Yeah.
you can think of like when somebody calls another human being an NPC, what type of vibe
Yeah.
they're giving.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's who that was for.
Okay.
That generation is shady as hell.
Yeah.
It's shame. Okay, so we're gonna say 5 out of 6 so far. Not bad. Number 7, slay.
Slay is like, yeah, like it to like say someone. No, wait, hold on. Don't ding me yet.
Not yet.
I'm putting my words together.
Just so you know, I'm rooting for you, not against you.
Okay, amazing. We're on
So
the
your
same
outfit
team.
is slaying today.
Yeah, like it looks good.
Yeah.
It's like spot on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exceptionally well.
I knew that. I just like I don't know why I couldn't put the words together.
Don't worry.
It might be this T right here.
I
that
think
we're-
the tea is doing it for both of us, actually, if I'm being real. Don't ask what's in the tea. Okay. You got that one. Number 8. Bet.
Like I bet.
B-E-T. Not Black Entertainment Television. Bet.
It's not a TV station.
Not a TV station.
It's not like okay, like I bet you could do this,
So the correct meaning
or
is,
like
you want to know?
no, wait,
Okay.
because it sounds like you're gonna say I did it. I said it wrong.
No, I didn't say anything. What is your final take on
My
bet?
final answer is: do I get to like call someone?
You want to phone a
Call,
friend?
Like, yeah, can I
Do
phone?
we
a
have that ability? Who would you call? What are your kids?
friend? Wait.
No, you got
No, wait.
slayed.
What, no, we're on bet. No, I'd probably call one of my employees. I'd call Bella 100%.
Why would Bella know the word?
Because
What year is Bella
she
born
makes
in?
fun of the words that I use. She thinks I'm too old.
Damn, Bella.
Yeah. Bella's getting fired tomorrow.
Bye, Bella.
I just realized I just remembered all the things she made
I
fun of
love
me
that.
for.
Shout out to Bella. Okay, so
Okay, bet. Okay.
bet officially means
Like I'll put money on that.
close. So bet apparently means okay, for sure, done. Like
Put money on that.
I guess I took it more of like a casino bet. But
No.
do you want a half point or a full point?
No, that's a full point.
I didn't have say in that. Full point. Wherever the scoreboard is.
Full point.
Okay, we're down to the last 2.
Okay.
Number 9, the term is core memory.
That's a Gen Z word?
It's a Gen Z, Gen Alpha term.
Core memory is like your like childhood memories, like the memories you have at your core
So
that like makes you who you are.
correct for a 90s millennial, but in
What?
this case, it means
meaning.
any moment that will be remembered long term as emotionally significant. So you got 90% correct. Like it's essentially that.
That's a full point. Yeah.
They're using if it's a full point. It's a full point. But that being said, they're using it as this will forever be a core memory. I don't know. This is my best Gen Z imitation.
Voice. Okay.
We'll see. I'll get canceled after this. It's fine. I didn't make it that far.
Only episode 1.
Episode 1. Shut it down. Number 10. This one, not a lot of people guessed it. I had a hard time with it, but let's see what you think, okay? You can phone a friend. The term is canon event.
Canon event?
You.
I'm gonna assume it's like a picture perfect moment.
Okay.
Because I'm canon and my canon's amazing.
I love that.
And so I'm gonna assume that like it's like a moment where like I just want to pull out my Canon and like with the flash on take a picture.
I love where your mind went. If Canon, if you would like to sponsor our next video, let us know.
Let us know.
In this
Is that
instance,
the answer?
so the correct meaning or the closer meaning, just in case we give you a point, an inevitable life moment that shapes who you become. A canon event.
I guess a good photo can shape who you become.
Yes,
You know?
especially if it's unflattering.
So I say that's a full point.
I guess we got a 10 out of 10. Did we skip any?
No, NPC. I didn't get NPC.
Oh, so 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
You did better than the last person.
Okay, good.
That last person wasn't on camera, but I'll tell you, you killed it.
Okay, amazing.
I had no doubts. Good job.
Thanks.
Are you going to be using any of these terms anytime soon?
Yeah, I'm gonna use the NPC. It's my new word.
Yes, this is a success. Okay, another question for you. So in a parallel universe, I like that you close your eyes because I'm going to need you to go to a parallel
Okay.
universe. So in a parallel universe, we're getting the fact that she's closing her eyes. We're going to go keep them closed.
Okay.
If there was a version of you living in a parallel universe, what do you think would be different about her life? And what do you think would stay exactly the same?
Okay, that's a really difficult question because I really feel like I'm like on the right path. Like I feel like I wouldn't be doing anything else. I guess maybe if I wasn't a nurse, I would still be doing something where I'm using my artistic side
Okay.
with like helping people. Imagine if I was like a contractor. Maybe I'd be a contractor. My core values would be the same though.
I like that.
Yeah, I would be such an amazing contractor.
Yeah, you would.
I would,
You'd be expensive.
of course.
As a contractor, yeah, Kris Jenner would have you do her house.
Yeah.
For sure. Chris, she's hireable if you want,
Yeah.
another
Interior
redo.
design contractor.
Yeah, I can see that.
Mhm.
Interiors for sure, because that's the artistic side expression.
Yeah.
And then the final execution would have to be your core values that
Yeah.
I see it the same way. Great answer. Mine was nowhere near your answer.
No. what was
No, I
yours?
don't know.
What would your parallel
When
universe
I
be?
so I did write these questions specifically for you, and I then would attempt to answer. I'm like, what would I answer for the parallel life question? I don't know why I thought I would just like escape it all and just be a backpacker somewhere through Europe and just like never stop. I feel like I'd
Okay.
be like a nomad,
Yeah.
which is not who I am at all today.
Yeah.
Like not, it's like a complete like, but that's why I guess like I thought I took parallel in a completely parallel term,
Mhm.
like in like
Mhm.
all the way, different. But that being said, Rita, we're gonna talk about something very fiery right now. Are you ready?
Okay.
Okay.
I'm
And this is
ready.
something I love about you.
You're scaring me.
You are a Leo,
I am a Leo.
which is very on brand. Very, very, very on brand. I think Leos have a very strong reputation for knowing what they want. The leadership aspect is just like
Mhm.
core code for them. Where does your fiery energy serve you a lot? And where do you think it may get you in trouble sometimes, if at all?
Yeah. No, it definitely has.
That I want to hear.
Yeah. So obviously, being a Leo, I'm a true Leo. You know me. I don't have to tell you this. I am a very true Leo, and it serves me well because I am a go-getter. I'm fairly aggressive. I don't mind putting in the work. Like
Yeah.
I'm a very hard worker. It does get me in trouble because I am fairly outspoken
Mm.
and I don't really tend to sugarcoat things. At least I don't really know how to. Sometimes I feel like I am, but I guess I'm not. And I think sometimes that may offend people. And I always come from like a really good place. There's never any like anything that I say that's malicious. It's
Yeah.
just I'm very direct, I guess, is the way to say it. I'm very direct. I'll just say it how it is because I just want the best for you. And this is how I see it. And sometimes, I don't think everyone is capable of taking that direct, I don't know, feedback,
Yeah.
you know?
We live in
It's
a
tough.
sugarcoaty culture, in a very sugarcoaty state. I mean, we're known for being overly nice in our speech
Yeah.
patterns. And I think that sometimes for me also feels like fluff. Similar to you, I feel very direct. And sometimes people think like it's a little too harsh, but I'm similar again to you. I'm coming from a good place. Like I just don't have the time to sugarcoat.
Yeah.
I wonder if it has to do with just like not wanting to waste time and just truly just wanting to give
Yeah.
you the solution right away.
Yeah, I think part of it is that. Part of it is that. I just honestly like I don't know any other way and I don't know how else I would really say what I want to say when and I kind of want that with people with me and so at times I respond to things how I feel like I would want
To hear it.
to hear, right? Yeah. But again, like everyone processes things very differently. And again, like I never want to offend anyone and I'm never malicious, but maybe sometimes I am too direct for people. And sometimes people need that, like, I was like, I don't really like do that. I actually don't do that with my kids either. Like, it's not even just in, like business or in like my personal life with my friends. I don't even do that with my kids. I just say it how it is. You have a question, I have an answer for you.
I love
And there's no in between for me. Yeah.
that's great actually. I think it also kind of creates a much more transparent rapport.
Yeah.
Because if there's never been a reason to sugarcoat or hide something, like you can just proceed forward as authentically as possible.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah.
That's great.
And I think because it doesn't come from a bad place, I don't think too much about what I'm going to say because I know it's not coming from a bad place. So whatever comes out of my mouth is truly like what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes what you're thinking shows up in how you're looking. And I really want to take a
Well, it's a lot of Botox, but you
that
still tell.
flawless.
But you
Besides,
can still tell my emotions.
yeah, I think
Okay.
that's the thing
I
about
need more then.
I don't even think it's that. I think you're able to bring out the best in someone's facial I've been injected before by Rita, obviously, but I think you never really like prevent me from showing emotion. I think it's just how you do it. Your
Mhm.
technique is just
Mhm.
enhances what is already there without feeling like, eyebrow blended into my hairline. Like I've never felt that I don't feel like Sammy, or I'm no longer myself. I feel like the best version of
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
But outside of that, it's the wardrobe. I mean, you look amazing, and you are definitely one of my most fashionable friends. If I can, and I come from a background of fashion. You know, I have an extensive background in fashion, but out of everybody I know that I'm still close with, I think you probably rank top 2 most
So-
fashionable people I know. Tell us about today's outfit.
Today?
Yeah.
Okay, so this outfit I'm so proud of because one thing that I'm trying to be better at is like putting my already worn once pieces together and creating another outfit.
Yeah.
I tend to think of an outfit and like almost feel the need to just buy every single item like brand new. But I have so many great pieces where I'm like, why am I not putting them together? So today, I almost did it. The shoes, I ended up
We're gonna
last
miss the
minute getting
shoes.
it. Everything else, like I was so proud that like I picked pieces that were already in my closet and I put it together and created an outfit.
You look incredible.
Thank you.
You look incredible. I think our shared love for the color black actually tells a lot. Black is a color of power.
Yes.
It's actually very, it's not that it's dominant, but it's very much, it has its presence. It's very strong. It's very bold. I think you look absolutely stunning.
Thank
The shoes, can you please tell us about the shoes? Because these are, get the shoes. I don't know if we can zoom in on these. We'll make it happen. But these are absolutely incredible.
The shoes are giving.
They're slaying. Bet they're slaying. Yeah. See, we're already putting our new vocabulary to good use.
Such a quick
Thanks,
learner.
Gen Z. Thanks, Gen Alpha. Okay, so currently in fashion, and I would love to dive deep because this is usually what we're doing, you and I, when we're together in a casual setting. So who are you obsessed with right now in fashion?
I wouldn't say I'm like obsessed with like one brand, but I'll tell you, like I'm not a flashy person.
Yeah.
I don't like too many logos. I actually like quiet luxury. So I love really good pieces that have really good craftsmanship and like there's like structure, and I love pieces like that. So I guess Saint Laurent,
Yes.
okay, Roe, Kate. I feel like they make such good pieces, Elsa, where you can just always rewear them and you feel so good in them, and they're not flashy, but they're amazing pieces. That's really like what I find myself drawn to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your wardrobe is
You'll
like a
never
time
see me
capsule.
with like a bunch of logos everywhere.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
No.
I can't.
No, I think, and that's evident, but also I think like, and I've been through your closet, fun closet. I'll say I think it's a time capsule of like your style evolution, and then you going back and like grabbing your favorites and then restyling them, bringing back to life. Honestly, that's kind of like the way to do it, because that's what makes a stylish person not a chronic shopper. Because like you can look fresh all the time, but looking styled and like pulled together is a completely different story.
Yeah, and I have a pretty good foundation of amazing pieces, and I don't know. I think again this year I'm gonna do a better job with, because I can't wear the same outfit twice. I think it's like a mental thing. I can't do that
Unless it's styled differently.
unless that piece is styled differently. Then I can.
And leave it to you. You'll do it
Yeah.
perfectly. Okay, this is gonna be a really hard question.
What?
Deep breath. You can only pick one, Rita. Okay.
What is
so you get invited to go to either Fashion Week in Paris or Fashion Week in Italy, and no, you can't go to both. And no, you can't pay to go to the other one. One. Which would it be?
I don't know. I feel like
Sorry for the upsetting questions.
Paris
Or Italy.
would be very iconic.
Okay.
Italy, I think I'd go to Italy actually.
Really?
Yeah.
For the fashion?
Yeah.
I can see that.
Very like worn in.
We can say Paris for our 50s and 60s.
Yes.
Yeah. Because that's when we're going to want to wear the tweed.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
No. But yes, no, we'll do Italy.
That's exactly what I think
Italy
of. But
in
it's
the 30s
very
and 40s.
iconic. Yeah.
Yeah. And then France for 50s and 60s.
Good
Perfect.
plan.
And then after 60, you just put me down. Okay. I do not want to be here. That's a different story. Okay. We're on the same. We can travel together.
Yeah, we
I'll
can.
book. We'll start talking about an Italy trip very quickly. Okay. I know that you are also not just the founder of Lazer Lounge, which we've been talking about for a bit, but you also are a founder for MegaFit, and you have your own gym. I want to dive deeper into your health regimen and health routine. Not much about the business itself, but also like what gets you in the mood, because you don't skip that either. That's not a corner you cut. So what is it that gets Rita to get out of bed, with the little time that you have that's to spare and
Mhm.
get yourself to work out?
I it's not even so much about the physical part of working out and looking good. For me, it's more for like my mental health.
Okay.
The second I skip the gym for more than 2 to 3 days, I feel like my mental is just not there. And for the sake of everyone around me, I need to work out.
What do you love doing in your workout?
I definitely love doing Legree. I love it because it's 45 minutes. I get in, get my workout in. I don't have to think about what I'm doing. I get a like such a good burn. And then after that, you get the rush of endorphins. And it's very hard to get those endorphins after a workout. So I definitely do that at least 3 times a week. And then I love to lift. So then I'll go in and lift for at least like twice a week.
Okay.
Yeah. And that really gives me a really good balance.
Well, you look incredible.
Thank you.
That's why you're looking like you're 22 and I'm looking 42. But that's for another day as well.
We're getting
Um,
you a Mega Fit membership after this.
It is the beginning of the year. Ozempic can't do it all. We'll work on that. Well, let's get into it because I want to know, because this is more about energy too. So I think energy takes me to the gym. When I want to go to the gym, a lot of moving things have to happen. And the number one thing that has to happen is loud music. So like music gets me going.
Mhm.
So I'm wondering, let's say you're in a mood and for some reason it's a gloomy day in LA, which doesn't happen often, but let's say it is. What is your playlist like in your car? Like if you're driving alone,
For energy?
yeah, where do you harness that from? Is it music? Is it something else that you do? Is it meditation?
No, I don't meditate, which I think I should.
Do
But
you have time to
I
meditate?
love right?
Where do you squeeze that in?
I love listening to podcasts, but if I like had to pick I don't know, are you asking like songs?
Yeah, do you have like a go-to top 2 or top 3 like playlist? Any throwbacks?
I don't know. Yeah, let me look on my phone. Let me
Yeah.
see like what I
What was like the last thing? Were you playing any music on the way here?
I was actually.
What were you listening to?
Okay, I'll tell you right now.
No one's judging. We're judging.
I was listening to Kendrick Lamar,
Okay.
and then before that I listened to Power by Kanye,
Amazing.
and then I listened to Run This Town by Jay-Z.
I love this. Very powerful.
Okay, but then before that I listened to Ordinary by Alex Warren. Like it's just all over the place. Yeah.
I'm loving this. Just for viewers at home, our producer was literally going this in the background. So too bad we couldn't catch it on camera. So just thought we'd act it for you. Great list. That would get me going. Power, absolutely.
I know, I love that song.
Yeah, I mean, you spoke to me right there. Okay, so what is something that people often compliment you on that you feel like, I don't know, like, thank you, but do you not maybe fully identify with that compliment? Because there's a lot of things that you know you're amazing of and you obviously get recognized for. Is there something that maybe just doesn't feel as like, that can also be a no.
I think maybe when people compliment, like a lot of people will ask me like, Rita, like, how do you do it all? Oh my God. And then I'll just honestly, like, there's no like formula, I don't know. I just don't think too much about it. I just do it. But they'll be like, well, you just make it look so easy. And I take that as a compliment because I'm always like very put together, or at least I
Definitely.
hope I am.
Yeah.
But it's definitely not easy. There's a lot of chaotic moments, and there's a lot of moments where I'm feeling like, am I doing the right thing? Is this the right decision? Almost questioning myself, but then having this like self-talk where it's like, no, like I'm good. Like there's a lot of back and forth in my mind. So it just feels it's like an organized chaos in my mind. And it's definitely not easy. I may make it look like it is, but I think it's because when I'm having a hard day or a hard time, my first reaction to that isn't to go broadcast to everyone that I'm having a hard day or a hard time. Like which sucks, honestly. I wish I could do more of that because I do think that people need to see what it really takes to run a business and have kids and try to do everything and have some sort of sanity with running everything.
There's something that you said I absolutely loved. You said there's a self-talk
Yeah.
conversation between you and yourself. I'd love to learn. Could you elaborate on that?
Yeah. Think of it like all the decisions that you're making for the business sometimes feel very lonely because who are you going to ask? Like, should I do this? Should I not? You can't ask your employees. You can ask your spouse, but if your spouse doesn't work with you, their guidance is gonna honestly be kind of biased, and sometimes I don't want to include him in those decisions. I want it to be very business oriented, and so it feels very lonely. And so for me to make a decision, I almost have to talk to myself because that's just, I don't know who else I would talk to, and I have to go a lot of like back and forth and come up with possible, you know side effects to this decision, and then game plan, and then execute. So yeah, it takes a lot of self-control to not doubt yourself, to be hardworking, ambitious, and then be proactive and not give up. It's just like so much in one
Your
role.
dominant internal voice remains positive.
Yeah, it has to.
It does.
Yeah.
That was amazing. Okay. So we're getting to our last question.
Oh,
And this is
wow.
something I know this felt
We
like
did so good.
I know. This is the one that I think for some of our listeners that, are truly taking inspiration from
Mhm.
everything that they're hearing, everything that they're seeing. I'd like to read this out for you. So, if someone listening wants to build a life and a business like yours or something parallel, what is the one thing that they can absolutely not skip?
The one thing that will make you a very successful business owner is having grit. You have to have grit so that way you keep going, because it's a wave. You got to ride the wave, and you got to have the same sort of motivation even when you're at the low end of your wave. And to be able to go up is very hard. And the only way to go up to the high peak of your wave is going to be by your grit. Like, how much grit do you have? Honestly, this is something that I also talk to my kids about all the time. And funny enough, I talk to them so much about it. And I think social media works in such a like interesting way. I have a love and hate relationship with it, but it brought me a video of a TED Talk literally like 3 days ago. And it was so amazing. It was a professor who researched her own kids in her classroom, and almost put a bet on who's going to be the most successful at the end of school year. And she did this because she's also done other little researches here and there. She went and researched spelling bee students, and then researched cadets, and then they figured out what makes them successful. And it wasn't the highest IQ student that graduated. It wasn't the one who listened in the classroom. It wasn't who came from a wealthy family. It wasn't who showed up to school more days. It was the kids who had more grit. So then they figured out, oh, how can we measure grit? And it was just such an interesting thing to listen, because I was like, wow, like those moments where you have like aha moment where you're like, I've been feeling this. I know this is what it is. I haven't heard it from someone else, but I know that this is what it takes. And then to hear that, it was such a validating moment where I'm like, yes, that's exactly what it is. Like, to a T. And I showed that video to the kids, and Alec was like, wait. And I'm like, yes. He's like, you've been telling us this. And I'm like, I know.
It's like a personal philosophy put into words.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
Grit.
Yeah. Great.
I love that.
Everything all in one.
Yeah.
All in one.
There's a lot of naysayers out there. It's easy to listen to the no's because there's an abundance of them, but the yeses are the ones to focus on.
Yeah.
I love that. Rita, this entire time has been so wonderful. Thank you so much for your time, your honesty, your transparency. You've been so generous with us. This actually could be such impactful conversation for someone. And I hope that I leave people as inspired as we all are here in the studio today, because your story is incredible. And thank you so much for being here.
Say thank you for thinking of me. And your words were your introduction honestly hit me really hard, and I love that you see me that way. I think our upbringing is very similar, where you try to be very humble, but at times when you hear the words of how people perceive you, it gives you that sense of validation where it's like, yes, I want to be humble, but to then have that person see who you're trying to be, or not just trying to be, who you are, is like, okay, that's amazing. Sometimes you have to be less humble and acknowledge that about yourself. So I love that. Thank you.
You're welcome. There's the reason for this show is I wanted to bring the most inspirational people that I know to the world, whatever that audience may be. I think that you're one of the most inspiring people that I have ever come across in Los Angeles, and I've known you for about 10 years now. And I don't know what this leads to, but I know that you have one of the most impressive, cool, must-know stories, and it was an honor just getting a chance to talk to you about it and sharing it. So thanks again, Rita. Thankfully, I got you to give me your phone number so we can be texting and I know how to get a hold of you. But for people at home who are just watching this, how can they find you? Tell us about that.
They can find us on Instagram, Lazer Lounge with a Z, Megafa by Lagree. You can find my personal page, Rita Parsamyan, all the same, Lazer Lounge.
And what we'll do is we'll link all of it, so it'll be very easy to find. Rita, thank you again.
Of course.
For more amazing content like this and more amazing videos and interviews coming very soon, please like, follow, and subscribe, and comment on the video below. It really helps us reach more people and bring in more amazing guests just like Rita today.
Yeah.